Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Sun Talks, a podcast by ISSC. Today, we're joined by the Mandarin Chinese Student Service Coordinator, Shaorui Zhu. Hello, welcome, Shaorui.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course, just so that for everyone, can you introduce yourself in Mandarin as well?
Oh yeah, sure. Hi，大家好，我是邵瑞，然后来自 ISSC，然后在 ISSC 担任中文国际学生的这个服务工作，谢谢。
I understood all of that perfectly. Absolutely. So, how long have you been with ISSC? What's your role? Can you explain a bit about what you do?
Since I think I joined ISSC in shoot. I forgot the time. No.
Wait, did you?
Don't show this part to Daniel. um, I think it's 2022 and July.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
July 2022.
That was the semester before I joined ASU. No, but that
You
was the semester
joined
after I joined ASU.
ASU.
Yeah,
Joined ISSC, I think.
I joined ISSC in November.
Okay, never
Yeah.
mind. So that's not important. Yeah. So I came and so my goal actually is to serve Mandarin Chinese students
Mhm.
around this campus and in this community. So I focus on four parts, like to support them, like campus life support, uh, immigration related questions, and work with our advisors to make sure they have clean status
Mhm.
and make sure they maintain their status and have a good life here.
Mhm.
And also, another focus is doing some cultural events or entertainment events. And the last part is um, and my team, we try to work with some career service or any that career service related department
Mhm.
to support our student to make sure they can
Get a job,
get a job. Yeah,
internships.
right.
So you're also you're an ASU alumni, right?
Hmm.
So you did study at ASU. So you're also an international student who came in. So how like one as a perspective as how when you came in as a student and now you're seeing it as like a staff member, right? So what is the cultural shock that you experienced as a student, but you also see students experiencing it, especially from students coming in from Asia to the US? What are like? Do you have any common ones that you see all the time? Do you have any specific ones that you thought that you'd never see it or that you never experienced it, but now that you're a staff member, you're hearing about that?
I can use one example.
Absolutely.
I think we talk about the subway example.
Which subway do you mean?
When you order subway,
Oh, right. Yes, yes.
so I don't know what are other students doing, but
Mhm.
go back to my time. I I waited I waited for 4 years to be brave and to went to a subway and make my first order since my first time arriving in the United States. So 4 years later,
That's amazing.
the problem was, and I didn't know the terms. I didn't know how to order, and I was feel like sometimes I feel like embarrassed when the
Mhm.
um, uh, how do you say that the
When you're placing the order, like you don't know how to pronounce something.
kind of
Yeah,
like
because obviously even I don't know how to pronounce a lot
like
of
I
it.
only know I want to order other cheese, but I only know American cheese. Or
Exactly.
American cheese is the easiest way to say it. So every time, what do you need cheese? Yes, American cheese, please.
I'm a huge supporter of American cheese. That's the only cheese I like in Subway, actually.
I want to try other cheese. I really want to try. So, but the problem is, and I was ashamed to ask someone else,
Mm-hmm.
and fortunately, one of my classmates, I still remember his name, and we still keep a good relationship.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Nate, and he's a PE teacher right now.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
in Arizona. So,
Mhm.
and I just said, hey Nate, can you help me? Or
Mhm.
just walk through me to make my first Subway order.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
he was so surprised. You don't know how to order Subway? I say, no, just this one. Other restaurants, fine, but just
Just
Subway.
Subway.
So I made my first order
Mhm.
in Poly campus.
Oh, okay.
So I still love that Subway because it made me feel good.
The Poly campus.
Yeah. Okay, I think the overall, I mean, generally speaking, I want to say is communication is always the big part.
Mm-hmm.
The way we communicate in China or in other Asian countries definitely is different here,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So when you try to talk to someone, especially use second language,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
we have so many concerns. We have so many, how to say, like, we need to take time to
Mm-hmm.
prepare
And I
one.
think it's the accents also that kind of like
Yeah.
we like I know what you're saying. Like we want to use the accent so that we don't talk in like our natural accent, so that kind of throws people off.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and also we only learn. I think we only learn like a textbook English,
Textbook English.
no
Yeah.
spoken English.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I always told you the WhatsApp story. Like my first time, my roommate met like a Mimi, and he said what's up, and I look up.
So I actually looked up and like,
Yeah, I just say what's up there. I said nothing there, and it just say what's up. So then he explained to me. So
like it's like, hey, what's up?
yeah. So,
Something up there.
so communication, English is always the biggest thing we need to conquer.
Mm-hmm.
And if you pass the language challenge, the second challenge will be the habits, the culture, and many things you need to adapt in the United States.
So, what would your advice be for a student, let's say they're coming in to ASU, or they're already here, but they need some advice on something? So, what's your one advice on how they can make that transition easier?
Uh, from my observation or my personal experience, student sometimes they choose um, to accept the transition or to not do the transition. You know what I'm saying?
So,
So if you don't have, so if we don't have enough courage or enough like resources to help us make that transition happen, and then we just stay in our comfort zone, and we never, actually we never learn how to live in another like a English speaking country.
so I think going out of the comfort zone
So
is your advice.
no, I mean the fact is this all depends on your choice.
Obviously.
If you really want to, I would say, even I'm still learning that. I'm working in at ISSC. I can not 100% sure. I say, oh, I'm very confident to speak something right now in front of everybody in English. So I just say, always just keep learning and keep ask questions, and also do something you are not familiar with. I mean, just do something, or if you want to try something you're not familiar with, just go to some
Event.
events or like all like senior students who speak the same language with you, and you see how they do it, and now you just try more and more like.
Speaking of which, so I know that you coordinate a lot with Chinese clubs. I think there's two Chinese clubs, if I'm not wrong. One is like an official ASU registered club, and the other one's like a volunteering forum.
They three of them are both like a ASU official
Oh, ASU.
clubs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so students can get connected with them, and I think they're also like really resourceful and seniors who are willing to help people coming in, right? So can you tell me more about like what events you do, and also what are like some of the events that the Chinese clubs do, which I understand that you also help them with. So what is the nature of your events like?
I think the nature of my experience, my events are focusing on to increase students' experience. Um, so we have like the coming Monday, and we have the Lunar New Year, like a musical performance event at the MU stage, and so that's feel like just want to increase like a cultural awareness and try our best to let all the my target group students feel be inclusive
Mm-hmm.
about their cultures, and also uh, on the other um, in addition, and I hope and my events can give them more resources like ASU resources to help their life easier in at ASU, like alumni story sharing or
I will say my favorite event that you guys do
yeah,
is the tea time event.
the tea time.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
love the tea, especially the one that your student worker Mokshan makes.
yeah.
Amazing. That's like my biggest driver for coming to your events. I don't even speak Mandarin, but I just want to show up and just drink the tea.
Yeah, it's a small event. I
Mm-hmm.
want to keep it private, small, and
Mm-hmm.
when students join us and they can actually share their struggles, they can
Mm-hmm.
actually share what they are like have been through.
So
So
that event is meant for you to interact and connect with these students
yeah,
and have a personal relation rather than just like being a big event, big numbers.
yes. Personally, I think we only have a few chances in 1 year to make a big event.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the events for me, I feel I want to keep it small and private and be more social and let students can actually talk to someone they need.
Mm-hmm. And then share their experiences,
Yeah.
obviously. So, what is the role of these events like in like making a community of Mandarin speaking Chinese students? Um, do you think that there already is a community out there with a lot of students, or do you think that it's still under development?
What's your question?
So, so basically, how what do you think the role of a Mandarin speaking Chinese student community at ASU plays in welcoming new students in, but also supporting students who are about to graduate or students who are in the process of like studying at ASU, but they need help with something, right? Because obviously you have ISSC, you have all these other departments who can help you out, but hearing advice from someone who's from the same city, same country as you, obviously has a different impact. So do you think that the community that exists with Chinese Mandarin speaking students, is it already there or is it under development? How is it going, and what role do you think you as a staff member and also like ISSC plays in that?
I think my role is like a bridge between the community and the students.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to building that community, not just for the students who speak like their language is Mandarin Chinese, but also I wanna invite more students, maybe local students who are interested in Chinese culture
Mm-hmm.
or Mandarin speaking
So the
purpose.
community, not only you want to make a community not only helps your culture or like students from
Yeah.
Chinese speaking or like Mandarin speaking Chinese students, but also you want to welcome in students who are not part of the culture and introduce them to what an amazing culture it is.
Yeah, I think we need to. I think it's very important to hear
Mm-hmm.
other stories and different cultures and habits and
And
that.
obviously the food, the
Yes, but
food.
but the most important thing is we only see what we want to see.
Mm-hmm.
When no matter when I grew up or the city I live, I only can see you know what I can in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go aboard and you will see many different cultures and the people there and some perspectives you never hear before that might impact your future career,
Mm-hmm.
your future academic path. So I just hope like this community can help Chinese like a more like a I mean just I just hope this community can help more Mandarin Chinese students can form their um,
Own network.
own network and have can inspire their mindset whatever they have
Mm-hmm.
to uh, eventually benefit them in their future decisions.
And grow.
Yes, because one I feel like when you study abroad, the one critical skills you need to learn is decision making.
Mm-hmm.
But what make you to have a better decision, you need to. It's all about your what your journey is, like
Mm-hmm.
what people you meet, like what kind of education you have.
Mm-hmm. So experiences and networking,
Yeah.
I think.
So I eventually my goal I wanna them to um, I want to see more international Mandarin students or other students, and they can be a good communicator, be a
Mm-hmm.
good um, uh, how to say like
Like better community and just build that
like a
connections and
yeah
grow into like being someone who can take good decisions,
right
basically, right?
yeah
So, I mean, do you have any experiences? Do you have any stories? I know you already talked about your experiences with the what's up.
yeah that's a really
That's funny.
okay
It's funny. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have also had situations like that, which I did not understand what they were saying. So, but yes. But
but I feel like my middle school English teacher will kill me if they see these things and say they don't
like
they
the
realize I
slang.
don't even know what's up. So
But what about like as a staff member, have you heard of any student experiences, good or bad, that you think that might help future students or current students who might be going through something so that they know how to navigate through that? So like because obviously ASU has so many resources. Do you know about any specific resources that might help Mandarin speaking Chinese students? But like anything, like
uh, so first of all, I would say I like my volunteer teams.
mm-hmm,
My volunteer teams is formed by all the Mandarin Chinese students from different areas. We from mainland China, Taiwan, Malaysia, and so basically we have mm, a diverse group, and
mm-hmm.
each one has a very unique background. So that I would say that resource and the student definitely can use because we can help, we can support
And
the.
how can they get in touch with the volunteer group?
Just send me email.
Do you?
Yeah.
So just send you an email and you can get in touch
Send
with
me
them.
send us an email and we will schedule like a chat.
Got it.
I don't want to call it interview. I never call it an interview because it's just a volunteer.
So it's just like, so they can just talk to you and then they can join in.
Not talk to me, but because we will have a serious questions for them. But it's not like an interview style. It's like a more serious chatting group.
So it's like it's informal. So
It's
it's not
informal,
as
yeah.
formal as an interview, but
Right.
it's still not as informal as like just a social gathering.
Yeah, because we still want to know what's your background
Mhm.
and why you're interested in joining this group and what you can bring to this group
Mhm.
and what we can help you to success.
So what if someone doesn't want to join, but they have a question?
They
Just
always
email again.
just always talk to me then.
Got it.
Yeah, and
So
other resources I would say SDFC is a good resources for your awareness. I like SDFC even I'm a staff. No matter I'm a staff or when I was a student, I always went to SDFC.
I went for 1 month in my 3 years.
Okay, sure, good.
Yeah.
So and also I would say yeah, SDFC is a good resources.
I go to SGFC. I went for 1 month. I worked out, and then one day I just felt lazy. That's the end of it.
Yep.
I think you know.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So, how about events? Do you have any upcoming events? How do students get information about that? Um, do you need volunteers for these events? And of course, what's the food?
So we have Lunar New Year events coming
Mhm.
next week, and we have basketball, like a 3-point and a skill contest event
Oh.
in February, and we will have alumni story sharing event in March, I
Mhm.
guess, and some CBT OPT Mandarin workshop.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we are still designing some fun event to increase students' experience
Mhm.
on campus. Um, Food, yeah, I don't know. We probably order some Chinese food and then
I love Chinese food, by the way.
yeah. So students usually will receive my message from either from WeChat groups or a Line group. Do you know Line?
Lion?
Line.
No.
Yeah, Line. So most of Taiwanese students or other Japanese students they
Mhm.
use Line a lot.
Got it.
It's like a WeChat.
And how can they access these groups? Or
Oh, I already send the group emails to students.
okay,
If
got
they
it.
want to join, they
They
can
can join
join
if they.
anytime. Yeah.
So again, if they need any information, if they need to join these groups, if they want to volunteer, just email you,
Yeah.
and you can help them out.
Yep.
So, how do you have any funny stories from these events? Do you have any like experiences? Again, I know I keep coming back to experiences because end of the day, that's what this
Uh-huh.
podcast's about. Anything funny to share? And also, uh, do you connect Chinese students with the community? So, if there is there like a Mandarin speaking or Chinese community in Phoenix who are active and who are willing to help students coming in?
Yeah, I believe so. And I think the first for the uh, Chinese students specifically, if
Mhm.
you want to talk to Chinese students, and the uh,
Just zoned out over there. He just went.
no, I think for mainland Chinese students and the Chinese consul in LA, they give us a lot of support. They usually visit the campus like
Oh.
twice a semester,
Hmm.
and to see the CISA leaders here and to support them. And each spring festival, each like a New Year season, they always um, like give us their like a Chinese New Year calendar or something as a gift. So
So you said CISA. Is that the volunteering group or is it the club?
the Chinese Student and Association,
So it's Chinese Student
the
Association.
Chinese Student and Scholar Association. Yeah,
So they're an official registered club with ASU.
yeah,
So students can find them on Sun Devil Sync,
correct.
and then they host their own events, right?
Yes.
So do you help them out? How does that happen? How can someone join that group? Also, do you know their recruitment process?
So I think everyone, it's like other clubs. You join other club, like any ASU club. You go to the Sun Devil Think and
Mhm.
you send an email to the contact person on their page, and then you can join. Probably they will contact you, and
That's it.
that's it.
It's as simple as that.
Yes.
That's amazing. So, how about off campus? What are the grocery stores that are available? Restaurants, good restaurants that that you would recommend students trying out, because obviously when you come here you're going to miss home food, right?
Hmm.
So, do you have any recommendations? I know I have one.
Which one?
It's the one on Broadway and McClintock.
Okay.
It's called. So I don't know the Chinese name. It's Old Town Taste.
Oh, down taste. Okay.
That's my favorite. The owner knows me now because I've gone there so many times.
Yeah, that's a good restaurant. Actually, and it's I think it's the the one closer to campus. I think. Yeah.
Yes, it is. I think it's like a mile away from campus.
Mm.
Um, but what about grocery stores? If someone wants to buy Asian groceries,
I think there are many groceries right now, Asian groceries,
Mhm.
and it's all on Dobson Road.
Dobson.
Yeah,
How
and the H Mart, 99 Ranch
Mm-hmm.
Market, and Oceana Market.
Oh, Asia.
Yeah, these all Asian grocery stores, and yeah, they're pretty good.
I think the Asiana market they're
Yeah.
telling is actually really close to my house. I've
Mm.
been there. It's actually really big. So students can take buses. I think the Orbit buses,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It goes there.
For HMR, and the student can just use the light rail here, and
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty convenient. I would
So
say.
just Google Maps.
Yeah.
It's just there.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the restaurants that I've heard highly of is called Mekong.
Mekong.
It's in Mesa.
Yeah, it's in Plaza.
Yeah, so it has a lot of Asian groceries I've seen.
Yeah, I think Mekong is one of the oldest Asian groceries
Oh,
in this area.
but it is a bit further away.
I think that one is more towards to
Mesa.
Southeast Asia thing.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, Mekong. Yeah.
Yeah, I've only heard of it. I've never like actually been there, but I've only been to your restaurants. I love Old Town Taste. That's my favorite. So obviously, for students coming in, the one of the biggest barriers that you said was language. So how did you, when you came here, overcome that barrier? And also, was that method effective in your opinion?
Uh, my personal story actually was a little bit unique. So
Mhm.
first thing, I chose the major that none of any Mandarin Chinese speaker chose,
Mm-hmm.
which was physical education.
Oh.
So I was the only one. I was the only Chinese students in the classroom.
Oh.
But the good thing was, I met a group of friends, American friends, and we had to go to classroom every day, and we have to go to our internship together to teach the little kids the
No.
PE classes.
PE classes.
And everything you have to communicate, you have to complete in English.
Mm-hmm.
So that actually helped me a lot, and I also cherish the friendship we had with my classmates. And
And
I
so
just mentioned Nate. Yeah, Nate was
Nate, yeah.
Nate was one. Yeah, is one of them. And the other thing is besides the class time, we just hang out a lot, and we always talk about American dramas or shows and sports.
Mhm.
So and also because we all love sports, so we
Obviously.
have a lot of things to talk about.
So basically, the fact that you chose a major that did not have a lot of Chinese Mandarin students helped you in overcoming the barrier because you were able to talk in English.
I want to say
Yeah.
actually forced me to.
Forced you to, because
Yeah.
basically you have to at that point
Yeah.
communicate. That's good. You said TV and shows and dramas. Do you know any shows that will help students learn better English? Which are the ones that you recommend?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, Friends.
Friends.
Yeah, Friends.
Who's your favorite friend?
Who's my favorite friend?
Yeah, like in the show.
Oh,
In the show.
yeah, you are one of them. Yeah, you are
Thank you,
one
thank
of my favorite friends. But in the show, I'll say, yeah, Chandler Bing.
Chandler Bing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, I don't like.
You don't like Janice?
No, Janice, please. Oh, that's yeah.
So you would recommend for a student who's coming in and they want to learn English.
Mm-hmm.
So you would recommend them to like watch Friends. How about Big Bang Theory?
No, because Sheldon talks too quick, and they use too many terms that maybe STEM major students don't understand.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'm a education major, so and I'm really bad in physics
Oh,
or chemistry or
I avoid
yeah.
physics.
And I didn't go for a PhD, so no, I know that this sorry,
Masters.
but yeah, I love Friends a lot.
Friends.
You like Friends?
Oh, I
right?
love Friends. I've seen it at least 10 to 20 times.
So
The
what?
dance.
So what is your favorite saying then?
My favorite friend is Chandler.
Yes, which saying is?
Oh, which scene?
Which saying is
I
your
lo-
favorite?
I love all of them. I cannot choose one. His dance scenes amazing. The whoppa. That's funny. That is funny. I have to admit.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Whoppa.
But
all good.
I just like I don't know if current students like still watch Friends or not.
Oh, everyone watches Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. My sister, she's 10 years old. She knows Friends. She doesn't watch it. We don't let her. But
Okay.
yeah,
Sure.
same.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, Friends. For anyone, everyone watches it.
Yeah. I think it's very easy to understand, and
Mhm.
each character has their own unique talking style, in like an English talking style.
Obviously.
And also they actually introduced a lot of American culture in it, right?
But also, I think one more thing that helps students watch it and learn from it is obviously the fact that it's relatable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so many scenarios that they go through, which we also
Yeah, exactly.
go through. Like, I think that's why I love Friends, especially because like you see their dating life and then you see their social life and then also their work life. It's so funny. Like the scene where Chandler's like, Chandler's boss comes in and he goes, "Oh, I have this stack of papers that I have to go through," and then he goes, "Oh, just throw them in the shredder," and the boss starts laughing and he goes, "What does it take to be serious?"
You remember the first episode that which is about Rachel,
Yes.
and pretty much the first season, you can see how Rachel
Develops. Yeah.
develops as a adult, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it just you can
You
find a
can
lot quite common cases
obviously because
through
you're
friends.
you're
Yeah,
coming from like your family
yeah,
with a comfortable life, and now you're coming in, you're moving out,
hmm,
and now you have to get used to being an adult and like paying your bills.
and also when you live alone, they also emphasize the friendship, the importance of friendship
Mm-hmm.
is, and you need someone around you to support you,
Mm-hmm.
and you need someone actually can argue with you but still love you.
Exactly.
You need someone be there and understand your situation without say any words, just be there
Mm-hmm.
and just walk you through the difficult time.
Yep.
I think this is all need when we study abroad.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, so this is the goal I'm working for our Mandarin Chinese students.
So your work ethic is literally friends.
I hope I can, but I want to be for one part I want to be professional. I want to provide the professional services.
Mm-hmm.
On the other part, and I want just be a good supporter
Obviously.
and be a good listener.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah,
I think
that's
end of the day, that's the goal of everyone at ISSC. It's just making for students to make ASU feel a home away from home.
uh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
No,
A home.
no. I mean, also I hope my volunteer team can beat that role as well.
Mhm.
So that's why I have to build that relationship in my team first. Then they can make a good impact to others.
Obviously.
So I pretty much like I and Motion and Yongqi, we feel like we're just living the Friends show, or all of us.
All
Yeah,
of us, the
right.
office,
So
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. So we're almost out of time here, but if like, what's the one advice that you keep giving to students, and you wish that you wish to share it with everyone that you meet, every student? What's that one advice that you give them?
Um, if you feel, let's say that way. I would say, don't hesitate to ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
Always looking for the answers you're looking for, and use the resources you have, and don't just sit back and no call help, and that's not good.
So go out there,
Go out there.
ask questions,
Yes.
be active,
Even though you don't
want to
feel
be.
comfortable to
Mhm.
ask questions, at least you find someone can help you
Mhm.
and to make your life better here, and also life and safer here. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you the next one.